A woman and a dragon, both covered in wounds, trudge across a beach. The woman's name is Zero. She is a powerful swordswoman with a flower where her right eye should be. The dragon's name is Mikhail. He is a young white dragon with the power of speech. Both of them stand on the doorstep of death. Blood flows freely from their wounds. It leaves a snaking trail of red along the coast. The army that has been following this trail now closes in on them. "Kill the traitors," they cry. This is the end. They can run no further. The woman grips her sword, steeling her resolve. The dragon lets fly with a howl in response. It cannot end here. They must live. The soldiers rush at them like waves from the sea. The swordswoman fights back, blood spraying from her wounds. In the midst of it all, something appears in the corner of her reddened vision. She sees the dragon collapse. Countless blades stick out from his white flesh. As the dragon lies in the sand, he ekes out a meager cry. The woman's hair rises in anger, and she immediately cleaves the soldier before her in twain. Sand flies as she rushes to the dragon's side. "I won't let you die." The woman stands in front of the dragon to shield him. Thump! The next thing she knows, an arrow is embedded deep into her chest. As she reaches up to pull it out, another follows. She lifts her head and stares at her enemy. But a third arrow finds its mark in her eye, as though they had been aiming for that very spot. Her sword slowly falls from her bloody fingers. The woman's beating heart slows, and then stops. The soldiers raise a mighty cheer. The traitor has been struck down. With only the dragon left, the soldiers move in to finish it off. But then, the woman's corpse begins to scream. As if responding to the scream, the flower in her eye glows red. And in the next instant, it swells up to an incredible size. Suddenly, another human spills from the flower, covered in blood. It is the swordswoman, reborn. She is a demon with the strength of the flower on her side. This cannot be the end. This cannot be the end. The revived woman attacks the soldiers with empty hands. She strikes down one after another with sheer brute force. but she is still greatly outnumbered. Swords penetrate her body, one after the next. She screams again and again and again. Yet each time, she is reborn from the flower. Her limbs are severed, her skull is shattered, her heart is pierced. Yet she comes back each time and falls upon her foe with renewed fury. It is a never-ending nightmare. Finally, the woman collapses in the sand. Her sharp, ragged breaths slowly take on a sense of normalcy. The battle is over. The only sound is that of the waves enveloping the crimson beach. Soon, the dragon's eyes flutter open. He looks over the mountains of dead soldiers, then back to the woman. Thanks for saving me, Zero. His voice is that of an innocent child, a terrible mismatch for its massive size. I only did what anyone should, the woman replies. The woman knows one absolute in her life. She must protect him. A flower blooms in her right eye. It is a cursed, loathsome power that would destroy the world. And only a dragon can extinguish it. Once you grow up and become stronger, I will have to tell you of my final wish. But until then, I will protect you, no matter how many of my lives it may cost. A small, remote village sits nestled in the face of a steep cliff. And in it, there once lived a young girl. She always sulked as she watched the village children playing outside her window. She wasn't sick. Instead, she had a mark on her leg that made her different. Her parents told her to hide the mark. If she did not, they would not allow her to go outside. But the mark was a part of her. Each time they told her to hide it, it was like they were asking her to deny her very being. The girl hated the thought of hiding it, and the more they told her to, the harder she resisted. She and her parents had been having this fight for several long years now. The girl was locked in her house, so others would not see the mark on her leg. Unable to contain her discontent, she decided to disobey her parents and sneak out of the house. She ran through the village like hell itself was pursuing her. But when she crested a hill, she found someone was already waiting there. It was a warrior with flowing white hair. She sat quietly on a boulder, her sword stuck into the ground nearby. Her pale skin was crisscrossed with wounds, as though she had just finished a battle. But it was the warrior's left side that truly drew the girl's attention. It was covered by bandages that had slipped to expose a patch of inky black skin. Skin that looked like a larger version of her own birthmark. She's just like me, thought the girl. Suddenly, she felt a deep ache to be like this woman, a person who did not even flinch when someone stared at her mark. I want to be like you, said the girl. As the woman turned to look at the girl, her gaze fell on her leg. A curious mixture of sadness and anger flitted across her face like a wraith in the dark. There's nothing good in a life like mine. This said, the warrior turned away from the girl, as if she had never noticed her in the first place. She then tightened her bandages and walked away. After parting ways with the warrior on the hill, the girl returned home. As she made her way to her parents' room to tell them what happened, she heard whispered voices from the other side of the door. We've caused her so much pain by telling her to hide her birthmark like that. But we did it for the right reasons. You know what would happen if people saw that and thought she was possessed. My parents are actually worried about me. Possessed. When she heard that word, the girl recalled a conversation she had with her parents when she was but a child. It was a story of a warrior who had been cursed by a shade and turned into a monster. And about how horribly she had been treated in this very village. The girl remembered the mixed emotions on the face of the woman she met earlier. She had lived through things the girl could not even imagine. Feeling ashamed for imposing her own desires on the warrior, she began to think about the hidden meaning behind the woman's expression. To the girl, the mark on her leg was a part of her, and her parents accepted that. But if the other villagers saw it, terrible things would surely come to pass. And not just to her, but to her parents as well. Caught between her parents' love and her own pride, the girl was in anguish. Soon thereafter, she began hiding her mark. In so doing, she hoped to acknowledge the love her parents had blessed her with. But though she disguised her birthmark with bandages, she refused to hide the wrapped leg. In this way, she hoped to mirror the pride of the warrior. The girl stands at the top of the hill, bathed in sunlight. Looking out, she makes a firm resolution. Once she is as strong as the warrior, once her parents no longer have to fear for her safety, she will remove her bandages and walk the world as she was meant to. As the girl gazes over the plains, reflected in those eyes is the sky that leads to her future.
少女たちが集う場所は今日も華やいだ声で満ちています。試験勉強の愚痴や洋服やネイルの話題、誰かの噂話で盛り上がったかと思えば、くだらないことで口喧嘩したりする。それが少女たちのたわいもない日常。ねえ、運動しても髪が崩れない方法ってないかな？おどおどした少女が言いました。そんな彼女を真面目そうな少女がたしなめます。もうそんなこと気にしてる場合じゃないでしょ。だって私たち戦えばどうしたって髪は乱れちゃうんだから。教室にいる少女たちはそれぞれその手に物々しい戦いの道具を握っていました。人類の代わりに機械生命体と戦うアンドロイドの兵士、夜は実験 F 部隊、それが彼女たちの名称。黒いセーラー服、明るい笑い声、そして銃と刀。彼女たちの日常は少女と兵士の狭間にありました。でもさ、フリフリの服で戦った方がテンション上がると思わない？地球にいる可愛い動物飼ってみたいかも。例えば男性型アンドロイドとデートするとして、そんな風に少女たちが談笑に花を咲かせていた時、優しそうな少女が背後に視線を感じて振り返ります。教官。やってきたのは教官と呼ばれる女性。その厳しい眼光に少女たちの面持ちが緊張したものに変わります。教官は少女たちの緩んだ態度を叱責すると本題を切り出しました。これより行われる作戦について説明する。夜は実験 F 部隊に課された任務。それはこれまでより大規模で過酷なものでした。作戦を聞き終わると彼女たちは揃って敬礼をします。そして声を合わせて言いました。幾度となく繰り返し、これからも繰り返す。戦いが続く限り受け継がれるその言葉を。人類に栄光あれ。機械生命体と戦うアンドロイドの兵士、夜は実験 F 部隊。彼女たちは今地上での作戦に当たっていました。幅に絡みつかれた廃墟の建築群。少女たちはそこで機械生命体と戦闘を繰り広げます。先陣を切るのは荒っぽい少女でした。彼女の剣撃は火花を散らすほど激しく、瞬く間に敵を一掃します。そうして彼女が気を抜いた刹那、背後に潜んでいた機械生命体たちがその身へと襲いかかりました。絶対説明かと思われましたが、影からの援護射撃によって敵は破壊されます。彼女を救ったのは銃を手にしたクールな少女でした。二人は背中を預け合うと敵に向き直ります。あなたはいつも詰めが甘い。この前の試験でだって。その話今関係あるかよ。戦闘中にもかかわらず二人は口喧嘩を繰り広げます。しかし彼女たちの連携攻撃は鮮やかなものでした。二人はまるで一つの存在であるかのように互いの動きを理解しているのです。 その時、多足類を思わせる構造の巨大な機械生命体が地中から飛び出しました。少女たちは持てる力を出し尽くして戦いますが、その規格外の強さに歯が立ちません。教官、どうすれば。荒っぽい少女が端末を通して指示を仰ぎました。しかしどういうわけか教官から返事はありません。くそ、通信を切られた。荒っぽい少女はそう吐き捨て天を仰ぎます。青い地球の空の下、少女たちは絶望の中に取り残されたのでした。一方、戦闘区域から少し離れた廃墟ビルの一室、教官は一人端末で通信を行っていました。助けを求めてきた少女たち以外の存在に向けて。はい、予定通り目標との戦闘を開始しました。予測通りであれば12時間後には敗北するでしょう。薄暗い部屋の中、彼女の冷たい声が響いては消えていくのでした。夜波実験 F 部隊。少女の形をしたアンドロイドの兵士たちは地上で機械生命体と戦います。しかし強大な敵の出現により少女たちは追い詰められていました。赤い液体の中央で事切れた真面目そうな少女。おどおどした少女はそれを見ると悲痛な声を上げ彼女のもとに駆け寄ります。しかし仲間の死に動揺した少女は隙を突かれ敵の攻撃に蹂躙されてしまいました。お姉ちゃん。おどおどした少女はそうつぶやき、真面目そうな少女の上に折り重なって倒れます。二人は共に製造された双子のアンドロイドなのです。一緒に生まれたのなら一緒に死にたい。おどおどした少女はそう望みました。そうして姉の亡骸の上でただ静かに自らの機能が停止するのを待っていました。気づけば少女たちの部隊は全滅していました。剣撃の音も銃声も今はもう聞こえません。聞こえるのは自然の音だけ。風に揺れる草花、歌う鳥たち。人類の去ったこの星は命で溢れています。その中で少女たちアンドロイドは、命を持たない機械の人形たちは、この美しい星の一部になることもできずに、ただ壊れて散っていくのでした。それから数刻、敵が去った戦場に訪れたのは教官でした。彼女は淡々と少女たちの死体を引き上げていきます。そしておしゃれな格好をした少女の腕に触れたとき、少女が小さくうめきました。彼女は部隊の中でも戦闘力が高く、また予測不可能な振る舞いが目立つ存在でした。教官は思わず身構えます。援軍を求める通信に応じなかった自分に、彼女が切りかかってこないとも限りません。しかし、 教官、無事でよかった。少女はその言葉を最後に事切れました。教官は物言わぬ少女たちの死体に視線を落とします。そしてわずかに口を開き、つぶやきました。15時間6分か。予測よりは持ったようだな。アンドロイドの兵士である少女たちは、機械生命体と激しい戦いを繰り広げました。結果は、全滅。しかし、まだ少女たちに終わりは訪れません。目が覚めたか？はい、教官。優しそうな少女は、ベッドから身を起こすと、明るく返事をしました。彼女は、あの壮絶な戦場で死んだ記憶を失っているのです。少女たちは機械の兵士。死んでも体の修理を行えば復活することができます。ただし、彼女たちには意識をバックアップした時点までの記憶しか残りません。それゆえ、少女たちには死んだ時の記憶がないのです。痛みも絶望も最後に気がつく哀傷も、あれほど鮮烈だった死の記憶は全て失われてしまいます。そして何度も何度も戦場に身を通して実験を行う。それが少女たち夜は実験 F 部隊の使命なのです。けれど少女たちはそれを知りません。知っているのは教官ただ一人でした。教官は少女たちが目を覚ますのを見届けた後、司令室へ戻ろうと彼女たちに背を向けます。その瞬間、教官は自らの身に異変を感じました。教官、教官、教官、教官、教官、教官。少女たちの鈴のような声が彼女の記憶領域を焼き尽くすように巡るのです。騒々しくて変わり者で自分勝手で、兵士にしては扱いづらすぎて、明るくて優しくて幼くて、兵士にしては純粋すぎる。教官は苦悩します。上からの命令に従い、少女たちを騙すような指示を出す。そして自分はただ、彼女たちの死と再生を見つめ続けるだけ。人類に栄光あれ。その言葉を信じられなくなってから、何を守っているのかわからなくなってから、教官たる己の存在意義すら見失って、惑う意識を誰かの足音が引き戻します。大丈夫ですか、教官。そういった物静かな少女は、先の作戦にはいなかったアンドロイドの兵士。人類の切り札でした。大丈夫だ。教官は短く答えました。そうして彼女を見据えながら決意します。教官として彼女たちを教え導き、守らなければいけないと。教官という名は呪いとなり、彼女を苦しめ続けるでしょう。それでも彼女は少女たちと共に次の戦場へと向かいます。彼女たちが繰り返す死と再生が いつか希望に変わると信じて。
Built to protect mankind, two androids fight the machines. The female is 2B, a powerful warrior who fights on the front line. The male is 9S, a support unit who aids 2B from afar. When they fight as one, nothing can stop them. But 9S has a secret. He wants to free 2B from her world of unending war. One day, as they pursue yet another enemy, they find themselves making their way through a massive limestone cavern. Foes attack and fall, one after the other. The machines stand no chance against them. They proceed deep into the cavern, then deeper still. Finally, they reach their destination. The darkness is absolute. But the moment they step forward, they are enveloped in a brilliant red light. Only then does 9S realize his mistake. The enemy has been using electronic camouflage. There are machine life forms here, dozens of them. Suddenly, 2B emits a heart-rending scream. She is infected with a virus, a weapon designed to destroy an android from the inside out. Her eyes begin to glow red. It is a worst-case scenario, and 9S knows the best thing for him to do is abandon the fight and retreat. But he refuses to even consider this option. He will save 2B. He must. For that is his purpose in life. In a desperate maneuver, he links himself to her infected mind and begins diving into its deepest, most hidden parts. Two B's mind is a maze, a labyrinth. Finally, he throws open a door and beholds a strange sight. Flickering memories of himself, all from the perspective of 2B. He sees himself in a forest of metal, a frozen ocean, a boiling desert. But he remembers none of this. And all the memories end in exactly the same way. With 2B killing him. She does so over and over and over and over and over and over. But for each death, there is also a first meeting. Each time, he says, people who know me well usually call me Nines. He says this dozens of times, hundreds. in another part of 2B's mind, 9S locates the virus and disables it. The enemy stumbles in response to the unexpected counterattack, and the two take advantage of the situation to escape. Later, 2B reports the completion of their mission. As 9S lends his damaged companion a shoulder, he thinks, why does 2B kill me? Why are my memories erased? And why do we always meet again? The answer eludes him, and he cannot find the words to ask. However, so long as he remains in her mind, so long as a part of him is in her memory, he doesn't care how many times she kills him. Their fate is a never-ending spiral, and they cling to its threads. So 9S walks on through the darkness,